by changing pressure, how these states are converted from one form to another. Is that clear to you?
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yes, Tanish?
Ma'am, can gas can be converted into solid or solid can be converted into gas with the help of changing pressure?
Change in pressure, yes, you can. All the states change can be done by changing temperature, also by changing pressure. So changing pressure means what? We are compressing, trying to compress. Increasing pressure means what? We are trying to compress a substance. So when we are trying to compress anything, we are bringing particles close. Right? Able to understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
So this way the particle space between the particles keep on decreasing. When we apply pressure, that means we are compressing it. When we compress, the particles come closer. So if the particles have more space, the space between them decreases. And they gets converted into, if it is a gas, you are applying pressure, then it will get converted into liquid. And on liquid, again you compress, try to compress the liquid particles, they will convert back to solid state. And for sublimable substances only, for gaseous substance, if it is in a gaseous state, if you apply pressure, the particle come closer and form solid. Clear?
Okay.
And when we decrease the pressure over the solid particles, if it is there, then it gets converted directly to gaseous state. And that is what we are doing in all fire extinguishers. Do you know all the fire extinguishers? Small cans, we have red color cans, we generally put it at home, handy. So all those consist of dry ice. So what is dry ice? Is a solid carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide gas under pressure is stored in those cylinders. So that solid gaseous carbon dioxide is converted into solid by applying pressure over it. And when we press the knob, what is happening? When we press the knob, we are opening the area. We are providing one opening. So that means we are releasing the pressure. So due to release of pressure, that solid carbon dioxide getting converted back to gaseous. Clear?
Ma'am, but it's difficult to convert solid to gas. Ma'am, like
Why? We are decreasing the pressure. We are pressing the knob of that fire extinguisher. It is getting converted into gaseous, solid state. Sorry, gaseous state.
Ma'am, so it is same as compressible.
Yeah, compressible substance. Compressing means what? Applying pressure. Right? And when we opening it, we are providing the opening for that solid substance. It is getting converted into other state. Clear now? Tanish, clear with the example?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anyone, any other doubt anyone has till this point?
No, ma'am.
No doubt. Then we have to start with evaporation. I told you process of evaporation is also a state of conversion of liquid to gas. But only difference is all the particles are not getting converted into gaseous state. Only the particle present on the surface of the liquid gets converted into gaseous state. So for that purpose, they won't need much energy. So therefore, it is not needed to heat a liquid, sorry. We are not supposed to directly heat a liquid. Yes, Tanishka?
No, ma'am.
Now you can see here, this is the liquid part, liquid. So that is the same container, surface of the liquid. Now here what is happening? Only the particle which are present on the surface of the water. We are taking example as water. So only particles which are, all particles are here. These are all water molecules. 1 oxygen, 2 hydrogens. So these are all molecules of water. Their amount of energy present in them is different. So the particles which are present on the surface, they absorb heat energy from the surrounding, and that much energy is enough for them, and they get away, they move, they overcome the force of attraction, and they move away from the wall, total liquid. And this is what this liquid state is getting converted into gaseous state. But this happened only with surface particles, the particles which are present near the atmosphere, air surrounding. Okay, so here, therefore, these particles, small, less number of particles, layer by layer particles are getting converted into gaseous state. So they don't need direct heating. We are not supposed to heat them directly. They are absorbing heat energy. Less number of particles are converting into gaseous state, so they need very less amount of heat energy. So they will absorb heat energy from the remaining particles or from surrounding and overcome the force of attraction and move away. They have been binded inside the liquid. The particles are binded, just like a rope has been binded. Two people are binded with the rope. Like that, these particles are binded with each other with a strong force of attraction. So to overcome that force of attraction, they need some amount of heat energy. So the particles from the surface absorbs that heat energy from remaining liquid and convert it into gaseous state. So this process is called as evaporation. So how this process is different from boiling? So evaporation is what?
Boiling is a
In
bulk
boiling, you're providing external heat energy.
evaporation, like it evaporates only little particles.
Okay. Evaporation. Now definition, if I will write, it is the process of conversion of, it is the process of conversion of liquids into gas, but at any temperature lesser than its boiling point, always. Evaporation is a process of conversion of liquid to gas, but any temperature. At room temperature also it is happening, or somewhat more. It is happening at a room temperature. And that temperature is always less than its boiling point. So liquid is not supposed to heat till its boiling point. Okay, and it is the surface phenomena. Surface phenomena means only particles present on the surface are converted into gas. The difference between evaporation and boiling. Evaporation, we have seen, it takes place at any temperature. It takes place at any temperature less than boiling point. And boiling always takes place at boiling point. Constant temperature. That is its boiling point. There's a first main difference. Second difference is, what you can say about the second difference? First write down, then we will discuss.
Boiling is a bulk phenomenon.
That means what? Bulk phenomena means
Ma'am, means when it's like heated, the particles go more in, like the particles go together, change into gases.
Okay. And evaporation is?
I mean, evaporation, less particles, like at a time go and change in gas.
Ma'am, evaporation is a surface water.
Water goes,
Only
but
for
evaporates. But in boiling, all the particles get heated, and
Yeah.
all of them.
It is a surface phenomena and it is bulk phenomena. It is bulk and surface means we have seen in evaporation only the particles present in the surface, on the surface, are getting converted into gaseous state. But in boiling, what happened? All the particles of water gets converted into gaseous state. Not one by one, all of them. In boiling, after boiling, every liquid particle gets converted into gaseous state. But in evaporation, only the particles present on the surface gets converted into gaseous state, not whole liquid. And third property, third difference is evaporation causes cooling and boiling does not cause cooling. What does this mean? After evaporation, if substance undergoes, any liquid undergoes process of evaporation. So what is happening actually? Here you can see. The particles on the surface, they absorb heat energy. From where they are absorbing heat energy?
Surroundings.
Surrounding. So in their surrounding, there is a air particles, as well as these other water particles below them, right? So these particles which are present, suppose I will consider here as in this diagram. These black particles are the water particles, okay, surface. These are all the surface particles. Now these water particles are in this, what are the other particles present near them? So surrounding air particles, these are the air particles are present. And below that black, there is other water particles are present, right? Here also these water molecules are present. So these black particles which are present on the boundary, they takes heat energy from these particles as well as from air particles. And then they overcome the force of attraction. So this is a water particle present on the surface. And this is a water particle inside, and this is a air particle in their surrounding. These are the air particles and these are the water particles present in their surrounding. Now this particle takes the heat energy from these remaining particles, water particles, as well as from the surrounding. So they absorb heat energy, their kinetic energy increases, then they will overcome the force of attraction. So here another water particles on the surface. These are the water particles are present. Now this water particle, there is a force of attraction. So that force of attraction breaks. And then these particles enter into the air, converted into gaseous state. It's clear? The particles present on the boundary takes up heat energy from remaining water particles as well as from surrounding air particles. And then only they can have their own energy. They can overcome the force of attraction. They break the force of attraction and gets converted into gaseous state. This point clear? Now the evaporating particle has absorbed heat energy. So what is the heat energy present in the remaining liquid? More or less, or remain same? The remaining particles in the liquid, This water particle has gone. This water particle has gone. Now it has taken energy from this particle. What happens to this particle now? Heat energy present in this particle will be
Less.
less, because this heat energy present in this particle has transferred to this particle. So this particle has lost heat energy. So if the heat energy from all the particles, this particle also, because this is also transferred to this also transferred to this particle. So this also is, this energy of this particle is also transferred. So all these particles below that surface layer have lost heat energy, right? So if heat energy is lost by them, so that means they get cooled, temperature decreases. This is what they have, their temperature decreases. And that is what they feel colder. So therefore, due to evaporation of particles, the remaining liquid become cold, cooler. So therefore, always, whenever evaporation takes place, it will always cool the substance, cool the liquid. Clear? Able to understand? Now take an example. Right now it is summer season. Anyone using earthen pot for water?
Yes,
Earthen pots are there for water. Why in that earthen pot water is colder as compared to the water present in the plastic container or your water bottles or any steel containers? In a steel container, at the same time, if you store same amount of water in metal container and same amount of water in earthen pot, that matka. So in earthen pot, always water will be colder. It's more cooler as compared to metal pot. What is the reason? Evaporation is the reason. That also the same. This is only evaporation causes cooling. This is what happens in that earthen pot as well. Earthen pot has many tiny holes. It is made up of clay. Clay is not full continuous surface. So it has minute holes in that. So water from the earthen pot enters those holes. Able to understand? The
Yes,
water is dripped. It is soaked by the surface, means outer bound, this clay, and then it will enter the holes. That hole is now, through that holes, the water is in contact with atmosphere, right?
yes, ma'am.
It come to that hole, and now there is, in front of it, there is a surrounding air is present. So now what happens? It will take that particles present in those holes, take up heat energy from the water inside the pot and gets converted into gaseous state. Now all the water present inside the pot has lost energy. So their temperature, what happens to their temperature?
Ma'am, decreases.
Decreases. So therefore that water is cooler as compared to metal pot. The same process won't happen in metal, because metals, there is no holes in metals, no air holes in metals. So no evaporation takes place through metal. Clear? Able to understand why the earthen pot water is cooler?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So this way evaporation causes cooling. Right? Clear
Yes,
how evaporation causes cooling? Now
Yes,
there are
ma'am.
many examples in daily life where we can see that is evaporation is causes cooling, and we are using it. Many places we are using. Right now, summer season, we have seen in many places, people start sprinkling water on their rooftop or in their surrounding. Why it is so? Generally happens not in Bangalore, that much is not needed. But yes, in northern areas where there is a desert areas, there people generally do this. They generally sprinkle water over their rooftops. That is because from the rooftop, if it is there, that water, sprinkled water, evaporates. So for that evaporation, what happens? What they need? Heat energy. The heat energy will be absorbed from the house. House is already heated up. So these water particles, to convert into gaseous state, to evaporate, they want heat energy. So they absorb that heat energy from the remaining particles. So what are the particles which are present inside the house? So from the house, the gaseous particles which are present inside the house they are providing heat energy to those water particles. And this way water particle gets converted into gaseous state. So in doing this, the particles present in the air or a wall has given out heat energy. The temperature inside the house will be cooled. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
You
Yes.
take other example what other examples you can see in that? Anyone using nail polish removers? Girls generally.
Yes, ma'am.
So when you pour it on your nails or it falls on your palm, what happens? How you feel?
Ma'am, it becomes a bit itchy.
Itchy, only itchy.
It becomes cold because it evaporates faster.
So it is completely causes cooling, and so it is much more, it is some like chilled effect. Just like we holds the ice, whatever the effect is there, the similar effect when this nail polish remover, which is actually acetone. So that acetone falls on your palm, immediately its boiling point is very low, approximately 56 degrees Celsius. So immediately, as soon as it falls, immediately it evaporates out. All the particles evaporates out. So while evaporating, it will absorb large amount of heat energy from the palm, the area where it falls. And due to that area will be this will feel chilling effect will be felt in that area. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
And then again, perspiration, that is sweating process. When you sweat a lot, you feel cooler. Does it happen? When you sweat more, you feel more cooler. There also the same effect is experienced. When you sweat, what is a sweat is actually? What is a sweat is actually?
Water from your body.
Water from your body, right? So water from your body, water and salt, some nitrogenous waste along with the water, more amount of water, very less amount of these waste material which has to be excreted out. So sweat glands are actually excretory organs in your body. So some these nitrogenous waste from the skin will be moves out. So now what happens here? There are the sweat glands in your skin. There are sweat glands. Those sweat glands will come to, there are tiny holes in the skin which are we can't see. So the sweat comes out on the skin surface. Now it is exposed to air. So they wants to now evaporate. So while evaporating, they take out heat energy from my hand, the area nearby that particles are there. So from that area, the sweat has absorbed heat energy and then it gets converted into gaseous state. So in that area, the heat is that area of my body or your body has given out heat energy, So amount of heat energy of the body now reduces. And that is what we feel more cooler. We feel cool because of that. That process is called as perspiration. Clear?
Ma'am, it's
And-
perspiration or perspiration?
Perspiration. Perspiration process. Respiration, perspiration. Clear?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Now, this is, and for this purpose only in summer season, we need to wear cotton clothes rather than synthetic clothes to help the process of perspiration. If we wear synthetic clothes, what will happen? If you wear synthetic clothes now in summer season, what will happen?
The sweat won't evaporate.
Yes, ma'am.
Sweat won't evaporate, you feel more uneasy because sweat remain present, it will remain in your body itself. It can't evaporate because the synthetic material is not able to absorb water. The synthetic material's main characteristic is it can't absorb water. So when your skin is there and over that if you wear any synthetic clothes, so the sweat present in that will not be absorbed by this material and therefore it won't expose to air and no evaporation takes place. So it will remain on the skin and over that cloth is there. So you will feel very uncomfortable, uneasy. So therefore we need to wear cotton clothes because cotton clothes has the property of absorbing water. So sweat will be absorbed by that cloth and then the sweat will be exposed to air. So it will evaporate by taking out heat energy from this skin and therefore we feel cool. Clear? Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
So these are examples, few of the example we have seen. The same process happens in a desert cooler also. In the desert cooler also the same process has been taken place. So before that, taking out all those examples, we have to understand first the rate of evaporation depends on which factors. Factors affecting rate of evaporation. Rate of evaporation means evaporation will be faster or slower. Which of the factor will affect that process? Means will the evaporation rate increases? That means evaporation will happen faster or evaporation will take place slower. So which factors will affect that?
And heating.
So first is
Increase in atmospheric
surface.
temperature.
Increase in temperature.
First is surface area. Surface area. That means now you compare these surface areas. Here is the water particle. This is the level of water particle. In this case, which one will evaporate means this evaporate faster?
And the
The
most
first one
surface
and
area.
second one.
Second one.
Why second one?
And because it has more surface area so that evaporation can take place more.
How?
Ma'am, the heat acts on a larger surface.
Okay. Any other example? Any other reason? Can't able to hear you properly. Can you speak again? More surface area, more rate of evaporation. But how? How that happens? Now, what is evaporation means?
Ma'am, can I say?
Yes.
When there's more surface area, there's more. So in evaporation, as you know, the surface layer gets evaporated, not all of it. So when there's more surface area, more of it will get evaporated.
So here you see the number of particles in contact with surrounding. How many particles are there in contact with surrounding? So in which case the number of particles are more?
I'm in the second one.
Number of particles in surrounding in contact with the surrounding are more. So here more surface area, so more particles are on the surface. So all these particles at a time converted into gaseous state, right? So more number of particles getting converted into gaseous state because more particles are exposed to air. So these all particles which are exposed to air, they take out heat energy from the surrounding and at a time they get evaporated out. Here the less number of particles are in contact. So less number of particles at a time get converted into gaseous state. So therefore the rate of evaporation of second container will be more as compared to first one. So therefore more the surface area, more will be the evaporation. So more will be the cooling effect. If you have seen the condition, when you are drinking milk, if you pour milk in cup and second case, you keep the milk in saucer, plate. In a plate, if you put the pour the milk and another case, it is milk is present in the cup. which one will be cooled down faster?
Plate.
The plate one, saucer one, because saucer has more surface area, so more amount of milk will be exposed, more layer of the more surface area of the milk is exposed, so more area of milk, so more milk particles gets converted into gaseous state, so therefore cooling effect will increase. So therefore the milk present in the saucer or a plate will evaporate faster and cool down faster. Clear?
Yes,
Another example, you take it, there's this one, drying of clothes, wet clothes when you dry. If you this one, if it is, suppose this is a any cloth, if it directly pour, tie it like this one, and another cloth of same, you spread it and then this one, put it on the rope, which one will dry up faster?
From the spread cloth.
Which is spreaded
Spread
one.
on the cloth.
The cloth which is completely spread out will be dried up faster as compared to the cloth which you have put like this. Because here many layer, one layer by layer, the surface area in contact with air is less in this case, and in spreaded cloth has more area exposed to air, more surface area, so more evaporation, so faster the water present in the clothes gets evaporated and therefore it get dried, that cloth will get dried faster. Clear? Is it clear, the surface area effect?
Yes, ma'am.
So more the surface area, more will be the rate of evaporation. As due to more surface area, more number of particles. You keep writing along with me. Done. Then the next factor is temperature. temperature of the surrounding or temperature of the liquid, anything you can consider. It is temperature of the surrounding you can consider or temperature of the liquid, whoever has more temperature, what will happen to the rate of evaporation?
Will be
And
more.
the rate of evaporation will increase.
Why it will increase?
Ma'am, because there will be more heat energy.
More amount of heat energy every particle has. So therefore it needs lesser energy. It will take out heat energy from the surrounding. Already the amount of heat energy needed will be, already they have more energy. Already the particles on the surface has more energy. And so they need very less amount of energy from the surrounding and evaporates faster. So rate of evaporation increases with increase in temperature. And that you can see in summer season and rainy season while drying clothes. So clothes get dried in summer season fast, quickly as compared to rainy season, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Or if you keep this and spread the clothes, wet clothes in outside in direct heat and in shadow inside your room. Inside the house, if any clothes, wet cloth is dried, and the same cloth if it is dried outside the house where the direct heating is there on the terrace top, which one will get dried faster?
Ma'am, the terrace top,
Terrace top or direct heat, when it is getting direct heat, that will be dried faster because due to increased temperature, rate of evaporation increases. So rate of evaporation increases with increase in temperature of surrounding. Particles already has more heat energy. It requires lesser heat. So evaporates faster. Completed?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone completed temperature part?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So next is speed of wind. So speed of wind, what happens with the speed of wind? What happens to the rate of evaporation? How the speed of wind changes the rate of evaporation? Will it change or not?
Yes, ma'am. It will change.
How?
The speed of the wind is more than the rate of evaporation will be more.
Yes, why that happens?
The rate of evaporation of liquid increases with increasing heat speed.
Yeah. Why that happens? Why this happens? So here, the cloth is tied like this. It's normally, it has a rate of evaporation. It is happening normally. Normal day, the normal rate of evaporation. These particles will evaporate slowly. These are the water particles present in the cloth. Okay. This is going by its own. Now, how the wind will affect? Now, wind is blowing in this direction. What will happen? Wind is blowing in this direction.
The
Then-
particles will move with the wind.
The particles easily, the speed of the wind due to speed
And
of
the
the air
particles-
particles. So these water particles will be also dragged away with it. The particles which are already loosened up on the surface due to evaporation, what happened now? Particles on the surface, they have already heat energy. Now, force of attraction, they have somewhat overcome. So now, due to this wind already blowing, that means these air particles are already moving in one direction. So along with that, they will take up this water molecule as well. So this water molecule will be taken up easily with wind. So the water particles will be easily taken out due to speed of wind. So more the speed of wind, so these particles of water in the cloth will be taken away easily. Clear? So therefore, with increased speed of wind speed, the rate of evaporation increases because those air particles, water particles are easily taken up with them. The air can easily take up the water particles from the surface along with it. Okay. So here with increase in speed of wind, particles on the surface are carried away easily. Hence, rate of evaporation increases.
Done, ma'am.
Now, what do you mean by humidity?
Humidity means the
Atmosphere.
What couldn't get three people was speaking at the same time? One by one.
The amount of water vapor in the atmosphere.
Amount of water vapors in the air is called as humidity, right? Humid when there is a wet air. that we call as humid air, that means wet air. So air has more amount of moisture. Then that air is called as atmosphere, or air is called as humid air. So due to humid air, what happens to how this affect the rate of evaporation? Humid air, if it is there, that means the air is wet, has more amount of moisture. Now in this case, what happened? Air has already more amount of water particles. Now any water from this cloth or any water, lake, river, anywhere, water evaporates. Where it goes? When the water on the surface of any water bodies evaporates, what happens to that water? Where it goes?
Ma'am, it diffuses into air.
It diffuses into air. That means it will occupy the space between the air particles. That is what we call as moisture in the air. So already in the air, due to humidity means what? Amount of water is already present in the air. Now, if the air is more humid, this means there is more amount of water is already present. Now, suppose take this example. See here the air structure of air. Structure of air. Able to see? Now here the water particles in the air are less. So this is dry air. Dry air, that means lesser humid. And here this is more water particles are present. So that means here wet air, or that wet air, that means a moisture. It has more moisture. So that means it is more humid. Now the water particles present in this. Here the number of water particles in the air are less. So there is a space. So these water particles easily evaporates. These water particles easily evaporate. Right? Because there is a space. So they can, after evaporation, they have space to occupy. So therefore evaporation will increase. But in this case, already the water particles in the air is more. So space available for after evaporation, there should be the space available in the air. Then only these particles will leave place. So already there is fully occupied area. Then is it possible that these water particles will evaporate?
No, ma'am.
No, it won't evaporate, because after evaporation, there is no space to take up. So therefore, these particles can't leave space easily. So they remain on the surface. They can't evaporate. All of them can't evaporate, because after evaporation, there is no space in the air to occupy. So therefore, if the air is wet, that is more humid, then the evaporation decreases. The rate of evaporation will decrease. Clear? So therefore, in rainy season, the clothes won't get dried easily. Humidity. Humidity means amount of air, amount of water or moisture, water vapor present in air, present in atmosphere. More the humidity, rate of evaporation decreases. With more humidity, rate of evaporation decreases. Clear? All the 4 factors, how they affect the rate of evaporation, is that clear to you?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this question will be asked for 2 marks, sometimes 3 marks also they have asked this question. What is evaporation? How it is different from boiling? And explain the factors affecting evaporation, rate of evaporation. So this question altogether they have asked either 3 marks or 5 marks as well. Clear? Is it clear this part?
Yes.
Okay. So this is about to end the chapter. Only the practical examples of evaporation causes cooling that is left out, that you have to write. Next class we'll finish this chapter and we'll start physics chapter. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
fine, you can leave now.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay.